The guys from Darkglass Electronics have stepped up their amp game and finally introduced a second Microtubes bass head, the M500. Let's check it out! Of course, Darkglass is very well known for the amazing range of distortion pedals, which are also part of the amp concept. But when we start this review here from the scratch, I think we have to acknowledge first that the amp itself, when nothing is dialed in, is absolutely super clean. Even so clean that even jazz guys might enjoy it, or upright players, and this is really cool. And in this state, it doesn't add any specific coloring to your tone. It's just flat, it just sounds nice, maybe with a little emphasis on the low mids, but that's just it. Before we start to distort the crap out of everything, Darkglass style, let's have a quick look at the general specifications. The Microtubes 500 delivers 500 watts at 4 ohms, which should be loud enough for almost everything. It weighs only 1.7 kilos and it's as small as it gets if you still want to have some controls and some fun stuff left. The housing is made from this super solid piece of aluminum and seems more or less indestructible. On the inside we find an analog solid-state preamp and a Class D ice power amp from Bang & Olufsen, which is the really good stuff. When the M900 came out in 2016, a lot of bassists got really excited. And I think that's because Darkglass has a very passionate fan base. I guess I can count myself to these guys because I'm a huge fan. However, we all got really excited and I think we were not disappointed by the amp at all. It sounds amazing, it has all the amazing Darkglass distortions built in that we love so much. It's super loud and it looks cool, which is also a thing. And yeah, as a M900 user, I found myself in a bit of a Dr. Evil mini-me situation when I unboxed the 500 for the first time, because it's so tiny, it's so small, it's so cute. Of course, it's also like super evil, but it's also very cute. However, if you ever had a chance to try the M900 since it was released, there are no surprises on the technical side with the M500. It's pretty much the same. They sound very similar, of course. There are a couple of smaller changes, except, of course, for the obvious ones that we will talk about in a minute. But yeah, I think it's pretty much the same. One thing that I can point out here already is now it has a headphone out, which is really cool. Front we have inputs for your bass and an optional foot switch. The layout has changed from left-right to the preamp section sitting in the top row now and the Microtubes section sitting at the bottom, which makes more sense to me. To shape your sound you get a 4-band equalizer and both mid-range controls can be set at 2 specific frequencies using these knobs here. On the bottom we have the real good stuff, a built-in vintage Microtubes and the B3K pedal, which are the most popular Darkglass distortions. Of course you're not getting the full functionality of the original pedals because they are sharing the same controls here, but come on, would you really want this amp to have 14 controls instead of 10? Yeah, me neither. can switch between the vintage and the B3K section using one of the Darkglass foot switches, or you can of course do it right here at the amp. If you're not familiar with these distortion circuits and you want to learn more about them, please watch our reviews of the pedals, which are linked in the video description below. Let's check the back. This is very clean, very lovely, and probably all you need. Of course, there's the power input for either 230 or 110 volts. Then we have a DI out with ground lift and pre-post switches. We have an effects loop, a Neutrik speaker out with a minimum load of 4 ohms, and as mentioned before, a headphone out if you want to practice at home, in your hotel room, or wherever you like to practice. That's it. I guess that's all I can say about the M500 right now. I think Darkglass made a brilliant job with this amp here. It's super light, it's very small, it has all these cool distortion things built in that even might enable you to leave your pedal board at home from time to time, which is really cool. And yeah, I think it's just very well made, and it's made in Finland, which could also be mentioned at this point. There's no cheap China stuff involved here. No disrespect, China, I love you, but yeah, I think made in Finland is quite a thing. And yeah, if this all sounds interesting to you, go to the next music store, try one out, grab one if you like it. And yeah, I think you will enjoy it as much as I do. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I will gladly get back to you. And if you like this review, don't hesitate to click the like button below or subscribe to this channel if you want to see more of those videos of other Darkglass stuff, other distortion basses, anything that is kind of bass related. This is a bass channel, as you might guess. However, see you next time. Bye bye.